What is going on, guys? It is Max or Thunder here, and today I have another episode of A Noob's Guide to Battlefield for you guys. As promised, I'm doing another one of these. I'm probably going to do a few more because the last one I did, the first episode of this where I went over the basics of Battlefield, that video did insanely well. I got a ton of good feedback on it. 84 views, 7 likes, something like that, and I also got a ton of good feedback in the comments. So here we are on episode 2 of A Noob's Guide to Battlefield, and today I'm going to be going over how you can improve your skills in Battlefield, and also how you can play the objective and contribute more to your team. So first, let me get started with talking about some ways that you can improve your skills in Battlefield, and what I mean by skills is I generally mean movement and your skills in gunfighting. You don't really need to worry about too much else. I'm not going to focus on vehicles or kit selection or anything like that, because I really do encourage that new players to Battlefield kind of explore what the game has to offer. One thing I can tell you that will definitely help you improve your gunfighting skills and also your movement is playing team deathmatch and domination as opposed to conquest and rush and war pigeons. And the reason I would recommend playing TDM and domination is because they have a slightly faster pace. Actually, not slightly, they have a lot faster of a pace than conquest. So since TDM and domination have faster paces than the other game mode, what you're going to find is that you get into a lot more gunfights in TDM and domination. Since it has a higher pace, you're going to find that there's a lot more action, and when there's a lot more action, when you're getting more repetition, you're going to find that you improve your skills a lot more. In the first episode of this series, I mentioned that Battlefield had a lot of unique mechanics that other games just didn't have, and it's been my experience playing Battlefield that when you get into more gunfights, when you get into more repetition, it becomes a lot easier to master the unique mechanics that Battlefield has. And by far the best way to do that is by playing TDM and domination because of the faster pace. Something you can do to help you get used to bullet drop and muzzle velocity and whatnot, because those stats are different on all the guns, is test range / custom games. I said / custom games because I think when it's implemented in Battlefield 1, it's going to be called custom games. That's what I saw on the menu at least. So if it's anything like it was in Battlefield 4, it's basically just a place to go. There's no enemies or anything. All the vehicles are unlocked. Basically what you do is you just shoot at targets. There are targets set up for the vehicles, and then there is like kind of a shooting range style thing that is set up for the guns. And you can experiment by going to different ranges, and it's just a great place to master recoil patterns and help you get used to the bullet drop. One thing I can recommend you do if you're new to the game is play with a variety of different guns. It's going to let you experiment with some guns that you like, and then once you do find a select few guns that you like, this is what I did in Battlefield 4 at least, I really tried to master those guns. I learned the recoil patterns really well. I learned the accuracy patterns, the spread, and it helped me improve my game a lot, as well as just playing with a lot of different guns is fun. That's why I'm going to be doing the field test series soon. But playing with a lot of different guns is something that I recommend doing if you're new, because it kind of helps expose you to the different guns and play styles you can adopt in Battlefield. So now that you know some tips and tricks on how to improve your skills in Battlefield, let me talk about how to put them to use. And what I mean by putting them to use is by learning how to play the objective, and not just like learning what the objectives of the different game modes are, but learning some tips and tricks and some tactics that you can use to actually play the objective and contribute to your team. Other than team deathmatch and domination, there are currently 3 other game modes in Battlefield 1 at the moment. There's Conquest, where the objective is to capture and defend flags. Then there is Rush, where the goal is, if you're the attacking team, you have to plant a bomb on a telegram station. There are 2 telegram stations in each sector, and once you destroy both of them, you will move up to the next sector. So if you're attacking, your goal is to plant a bomb on them and destroy it, and obviously if you're defending, your goal is to prevent the other team from attacking it. And then there's War Pigeons, which is a new one in Battlefield 1. Basically what you have to do in War Pigeons is there's a neutral pigeon that you have to capture, and once you capture it, you just keep it secure, you just camp somewhere, and a message will write up. Once the message is finished writing up, you will just release the pigeon, and as long as it's not shot down, it will deliver a message to your artillery. It will call down a barrage on the map, and you need to do this 3 times to win the game. Even though the objectives are pretty different across the game modes, I recommend playing them the same. At least I play them all the same. When I play the objective in Battlefield, what I find myself doing is I aggressively push up to a position, and I basically post up there, and I kind of just repeat that. So I will aggressively push up to a flag, and then I'll just kind of post up around the flag, pick up a few kills, capture the flag. I'll make an aggressive push up to the telegram station, and then I'll kind of just post up around it. I mean, I go a little bit run and gun. I tend to push around it pretty fast, and then once I kind of have it locked down, I tend to just play pretty conservatively. That's kind of my objective playstyle in a nutshell. I recommend playing conservatively, especially if you're a new player. run and gun does not work in Battlefield very well. If you come from Call of Duty, especially the new Call of Duties, you're probably used to adopting a pretty run and gun playstyle. In Battlefield, it's really the opposite. You want to be aware of your surroundings, you want to play it strategically, and you want to just play conservatively. You don't want to make any crazy pushes. You don't want to run around the map like a chicken with your head cut off, because you'll probably get sniped, especially in Battlefield 1, or you'll probably get picked off with a tank, because all of these things are now prevalent in Battlefield 1. So run and gun does not work very well in Battlefield, unless you're an insanely good player and you can pull it off really well. The mechanics of Battlefield just don't really allow for it very well. It's very difficult to play Battlefield like you would play Black Ops 3. Obviously, you don't want to camp. That's a pretty scummy play style. What I mean by play conservatively is kind of post up in an area. You want to secure an area for yourself and just post up there. Make that your little zone. If you're playing Conquest, maybe find a nice building that's on the flag that is kind of hidden. And as long as the building you're posting up in is on the flag and you're capturing it, and you're not outnumbering it, the enemies will probably have a pretty hard time pushing you off of it and preventing you from capturing the flag. What I found in Battlefield is you don't make a ton of solo pushes, especially in Conquest, up to a flag. Generally, even if there's no communication, a team will pretty much push up together. You'll probably have some vehicle support if you're trying to capture a flag in Conquest, which I highly recommend. Never try to push up to a Conquest flag and capture it all by yourself with no help, because the enemies will spawn there and they will push you out. It's very hard to do. I have a few pretty good gameplays that I selected for this video. I think I have one in War Pigeons, and then I know I have one in Conquest and one in TDM for kind of the corresponding parts of the video. And you'll notice that in all of these, even in TDM, I play pretty conservatively. For the most part, most of my nice kill streaks in Battlefield come from me just posting up in a certain area, playing the objective hard, and just playing smart. One little tip, this is kind of random, I don't really know where I picked this up, but this is something you can do. This is just an example of things that help you in Battlefield. What I tend to do is, after I get a kill, and I make sure the area is clear, I'll reload, and while I'm reloading, I'll check the radar. As you keep playing Battlefield, you're gonna find tips and tricks that work like this for yourself. And that's gonna do it for today's episode of A Noob's Guide to Battlefield. I definitely do hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you found this video helpful, and if you want to see more content like this from my channel in the future. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave some feedback in the comments below. Anyways, guys, this is Max or Thunder. I'm out.